Welcome to Destined for Success. I'm your host, Jennifer Takagi, and today is one of my favorite days. It's Potapalooza Day. And we have another amazing guest, Dr. Laura. Dr. Laura, thank you for joining us. And tell me how you show up in the world.
Well, it's lovely to be here, Jennifer. I just love your energy. I think it's really contagious. How I show up in the world, well, I like to bring my true self. I like to be authentic in what I do, but I also love to bring my expertise as an organizational psychologist, researcher, business leader, speaker, and podcaster, as well as an author. I'd say the thing I bring is I'm a serial entrepreneur. I can never just sit still doing any one thing.
I love that. So, what is your main focus these days? And that was an organizational what?
Organizational psychologist.
Psychologist. Wow.
Yeah. So it's a field of psychology specialized in making organizations and workplaces better for human beings.
That is so needed. I love that a lot. So, what's your like where are you focused right now, because I love that you've got multiple things going on and your fingers in, but like what's your favorite thing?
My top three favorite things right now. Number one, my research study and upcoming book on toxic bosses. I think
Did you
that toxic
interview me on that one?
yeah, that's what everyone says. I've worked for one of those, or my loved one works for one of those. And it's a huge catastrophic problem in the world. So I'm super excited to use my voice, use my skills, etc., to understand at a granular level how these horrific bosses work and do their damage on people, and then how to eradicate it from an individual level and an organizational level.
I want to say I had a very horrible situation going on. So I did what you should do. And anybody listening who has a toxic boss, if you're in an organization that has an employee assistance program, you need to reach out to them and go talk to somebody. And so I did. And as I'm talking to this psychologist, she said, your biggest problem is you share too much information that she uses against you. And I was like, what? And she goes, if she asks you for three things on a report, give her three things. And I said, but I know she needs 10. She goes, give her three. If she wants to come back for the other seven, that's fine. But you did what she asked. You're being too accommodating. And then she's turning it on you. And
But
I
the
was
fact,
like, wow, my life changed instantly
wow,
because my
okay.
boss was not normal. Like
No.
there was a
No.
button missing somewhere. And so evilness was like her default. So once I just started sharing the bare minimum, she didn't have anything to attack on. So,
And you stayed? How long did you stay?
well, it was a total of 8 years, but I was with the federal government. And if I left, I would lose all my retirement. And I had been there too many years for one evil person to
Yeah.
run me out.
Mhm.
And so I did. I left as soon as I could and have benefits because that was important to me. Yes, I could have left earlier, but I wanted the benefits that I had earned, and it all worked out perfectly well in the end. But that guidance on how to handle it was just critical to my emotional well-being. It was
Yeah,
so
no kidding.
important. So I love that you're a psychologist, and I love that you're
Yeah.
looking into this, and you're probably going to give a whole lot more suggestions on how to deal with that. So I love that. So you got your research going on for your book, Toxic Bosses, coming out
Yeah.
soon.
And
Love
I
that. What
I
else?
wanna speak a lot on I'm a speaker as well. I wanna speak a lot on that topic. I speak on other topics right now that I'm passionate about as well. So I'd say speaking is number 2. I just love being on stages. I like virtual events too, but my favorite are when I can be on a stage with an audience and sharing, different topics like preventing burnout or how to rock remote leadership. So how you be an exceptional leader when your team is dispersed from you. That's another of my topics. I just yeah, catapulting your career to the next level. So I've done a lot of career development work, and I can speak, to the moon and back on that. So
Well, and there are a few people who woke up when they were a little kid and said, I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm never going to work for anybody. But the majority of us, even if like I was, I mean, some would say later in life, became an entrepreneur, but that's not what I did for a lot of years. So the work that you do is like critical for people to be able to navigate
Yeah.
life in a happy way.
Exactly. And just seeing someone go from feeling a lack of hope and a lot of fear about what's next to having a well-crafted, insightful plan about themselves is just amazing. And then when you
Ah,
can hear from them years later, right? Because
that
I've been
is,
at that for 15 years, so you hear from people who you helped a decade ago. Or
and it sticks. Like it totally sticks. I figure
Mhm.
out very quickly the people that you need to quit using words with. Stupid example. I had just flown home and I had a luggage and the handle does not go down easily. You can't force it. You just have to pull it out, hold your mouth right, and try again. And about the fourth time, whoop, it just drops down. It's fine. But if you
Mhm.
force it, it's not going. So I'm getting on the shuttle bus to my car, and I said, "Oh, give me just a second. I have to get this handle down." And he goes, "I can do it. Let me do it. I do this all day long." And I said, "I know you do, but I know I can it will go down. Just hand
Mhm.
it to me. I will do it." And I went, "No." Because I'm thinking you're gonna break it. I know you are. So finally I dropped it down. I handed him my bag. I get on the shuttle bus and he goes, I do this every day. And I said, I know you're right. And I'm totally wrong. I'm sorry. And he was like, I was like, I'm not going to fight with the bus driver, but I also wasn't going to let him break my suitcase. So
No, exactly.
yeah,
Oh, that's funny.
we all won. We all won. Okay. Research a speaker on amazing topics. What's your third best favorite thing?
So I wrote two psychological thrillers. So the first one is called Losing Cadence, and it took me 8 years to write because I was between getting my PhD done, having three kids, like starting my own business. There's a lot of distractions. So I would write and then I'd stop, and then I'd write and stop, which is a really inefficient way to write a novel, by the way. But the idea just came to me. The idea just, it was like I was entertaining myself, and it's about a billionaire abducting his high school sweetheart 10 years later. It's been described as Gone Girl meets Sleeping with the Enemy. So lots of twists and turns and edge of your seat. And then people loved it. So I wrote the sequel. And the sequel took me 18 months. And both of them have been out since, I think, 2016. So it's been a while, 2017. But the
So,
exciting part is when I wrote them, I saw them on film. I said, this has got to be on film. So then a film producer came into my life, Conroy Cantor, who's amazing. So we are getting it ready to pitch for a series. So it's not going to be a feature film, it would be a series of, yeah. So that's
wow. And what's the
exciting.
second book called?
So Losing Cadence and Finding Sophie. And the interesting thing is it's all about, it's possession of women and, the violent side of it, like controlling and possessing. And so Conroy actually produced a film called Trafficked with Ashley Judd in it. And Trafficked's all about the $150 billion industry of sex trafficking. And so I got really involved in that, like that movement of how do we create awareness and how do we put a stop to that heinous industry. So now I'm like on this movement of ending violence against women and girls. And yeah, so that's my third passion.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll be sharing this book or your books with
Oh,
all my friends because we're all
oh,
avid
thank
readers
you.
and thrillers are super fun. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a whole new side of me. But yes, that awesome. I love that.
So
So, if you're my audience, I believe I have lots of entrepreneurs. I have some people who work in corporate and other industries. But what are some keys to success that you might want to share that we could maybe we're aware of, but we can embrace a little bit more and have a little bit more of that peace of mind and joy and the goodness in the world.
I think doing a gratitude practice every day. So that's how I start my day is with meditation and journal. So gratitude, even 3 things you're grateful for. Because the ride as an entrepreneur is really bumpy at times. And there's sometimes when you're living in fear, right? There's all this, oh my goodness, am I going to get enough business in to keep this going? Or will I have to get an actual full-time job again? And I don't really want to because I love being an entrepreneur. And I've been 15 years of owning my own business, but I also have had like 3 more businesses during that time. I'd say, yeah, there's some days that are really tough. So gratitude, number one. Number 2 is surrounding yourself with the right people, surrounding yourself with people who can help you, who complement your weak spots. Like me, not good with numbers. I don't remember numbers. I don't like numbers, but I have a heck of an accountant, a great bookkeeper, and I've learned like how to relate to my numbers and my financials so much better, but I still need them. I need people around me. I need an assistant to help keep me organized. And I'm a thinker. I'm an ideas person. I love being on stages, but the day-to-day details, eh, you know.
And there are
So
people who love that. They
yeah,
absolutely love it.
yeah. And my EA, she loves it, and she's just great at keeping all the balls in the air, the moving parts of they call me Hurricane Hambley sometimes because I have so many different things going on at once. Charity events, businesses, new ideas, 3 kids, like the film thing that's going. I mean, whatever it is, it's like a hurricane sometimes. So that you need to calm the hurricane. um
I love that. I love that.
I know, and it's like kind of embarrassing, but it's true. Hurricane Hambley. And then the third, oh gosh, there are so many, but I would say keep your own gas mask on first. So really the self-care is super important. So if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're trying to burn the midnight oil on your business and you're not getting enough sleep, you're not going to be as good at your business. When your brain is not nourished with sleep and good food, exercise, and fresh air, all those things that it's like, yeah, we know that. But a lot of people know that and they don't do it. So I think we need to nourish ourselves first so we can put our best foot forward as a leader and an entrepreneur.
When I went to college, I had 3 goals, and one of them was never make below a 3.0 because it can be so hard to bring that grade point average up. And I had a job and I dated and I had things going on. So 4.0 never was on my radar because I didn't really care, but above 3.0 mattered a lot. And pretty much my entire college career, I was in bed at 10 o'clock at night. And I didn't really care what was going on around me. I was in bed at 10 o'clock because the sleep was more important than study to me. I went
Mhm.
to all my classes. I never skipped classes. So you can retain and remember the stuff if you go to class and participate. But then you've got to have that sleep. And people minimize that. Oh, I only need 3 hours. That's a bunch of crap. And that's why you're cranky. And you say that you don't need sleep. You do, and you're
Mhm.
cranky. And I wish you'd
Mhm.
quit. So
Bingo.
I
Yeah.
love those 3. They're great. So how are we going to get a hold of you if we want to learn more? If we want to find out when the films come out, like all the cool things for you?
Fingers
That's so
crossed.
exciting.
Been a long journey, so I'm like,
Yeah.
knock on wood, fingers crossed.
We'll
So
do all the things, send all the vibes.
thank you. So it's drlaura.live, Live. Dr. Laura, all as one word, .live. So that's my website, and my podcast is on there as well as on all the podcast platforms. I write a lot of articles and good tips and tricks and tools and resources. And then I'm on the social media channels as well.
As Dr. Laura. And your
Yeah.
podcast, what's it called?
Where work meets life.
Ooh.
It's almost done season 4, and I'm getting close to 100 episodes, so that's exciting. It's been a labor of love, but I've gotten some real heavy-hitting, amazing guests on there that I've learned from. Every single episode I learn from, and then I end up getting a whack of books. You can see behind me, like
Yeah.
there's like a lot of them have books, and then I end up reading and learning a lot.
And then incorporating that. Well, this has been amazing. I've loved our conversation. And At the break, I'm gonna have to go get your books because that's like right up
Oh,
my alley.
that's so yeah, it means so much to me. Thank you.
And the
If you like
gratitude,
psychological thrillers, I mean, I have business books too, but
yeah,
my new business book's going to be around toxic bosses, so I'm excited about that.
yes, because you're doing the research on that. Reach
Hmm.
out to me if you want some real life stories. The gratitude practice is critical. We can find something to be grateful for. And I find that most people I'm around that are the crankiest and have the most negative things to say, I'm going to bet you $100, and I'm not even a betting person. They don't have a gratitude journal. They don't take time to
No.
be grateful for all the amazing things in their life. Surround yourself with the right people. I've had some younger women, younger than me, recently say, "Oh, it's not a fit with my husband. I'm on this journey and I'm growing, and he's not, and he doesn't get it." And my position is, it's okay that my husband doesn't get it. I surround myself with other people who do. So it's one person can't be your everything because there's a lot. You need a VA. You need the assistant who's gonna like put all your stuff together. CPA, yes, I have one too.
Mhm.
And put your own, you said gas mask. I love that. Put your own gas mask on first. Usually it's your oxygen
Well,
mask,
I
but
meant oxygen masks, so
I
yeah,
know,
don't quote
but
me on
gas
that.
masks totally fits too. It totally fits.
It's
Dr.
kind
Laura,
of
this
true
is,
though. Like my grandpa wore a gas mask
yeah,
in World War I. Like that's how they survived.
yes,
Yeah.
it's a
So
thing.
saves
It's a
lives.
thing.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of toxic things out in the air. So yeah, no, I
Yeah,
loved it. I thought it
including
was
toxic
perfect.
leaders who are harming people's well-being and mental health, and we got to eradicate that BS.
That is so true. I loved our time together. I can't wait to connect with you again in the future.
You too. Namaste. Thank you
Oh,
so much. And you're
thank
doing
you.
great things for the world. A lot of people are destined for success if they get out of their own way.
Oh, so true. For our audience, I'm Jennifer Takagi with Destined for Success, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.
Okay.